Hi, I'm Madonna, and this is your tip of the day. I want to talk about heavy metals, how they accumulate in the body, why they accumulate in the body, and how we can get rid of them. The higher the charge of the heavy metals, so lead, mercury, cadmium, aluminium, the higher the charge, they are drawn to the nervous system in the body. Everything in the body has a charge. Heavy metals are positively charged. So, so basically, we need to attract them with negatively charged nutrients. Things like zeolites, some of my favorite things are zeolite supplements because they are very, very mechanical in the way that they work. Basically, we get them into the body. They are drawn to the areas in the body with the biggest charge. So zeolite is a negatively charged mineral. So that is one of the things. It's got to be heated to over 700 degrees. So when you're checking it out, make sure you buy a good brand. It's a pain in the butt. It costs a lot more money than obviously the dodgy ones that aren't, that they don't bother heating to over 700 degrees. Chlorella, if you've got a good microbiome and can actually cope with greens, a type of green algae called chlorella helps to bind to heavy metals and aids in the removal, as do herbs like coriander. So chlorella contains chlorophyll and it supports detoxification, as does things like spirulina. So it's another green algae that binds to heavy metals and assists in their elimination. I did a session yesterday or the day before on stem cells, so the cerule stem enhance. So because that's another blue-green algae, it also supports a detoxification of heavy metals. If, of course, you do have an issue with oxalates, so if oxalates are building up in your body, you might not be able to cope with greens. So just be really careful with that. Cilantro, coriander, those sort of things also are known for chelating heavy metals and helping to draw them out of the body. And things like modified citrus pectin. So citrus pectin has been found to safely detoxify heavy metals if you don't have an issue with citrus. So as you'll know, I'm working with a bunch of people who are working on the shenanigans and toxins in our bodies over the last 3-4 years. And modified citrus pectin seems to be something that helps to bind with some of those heavy metals, EMFs, toxins out of the body as well. So there's those sort of things. But the other thing, of course, is the redox molecules, because the redox molecules go through every cell in the body. They go through the mitochondria. They go through every membrane. So they allow each cell to renew, regenerate, and detoxify. And so, again, if we want to work on an area locally, you can grab the gel, use the gel on the liver, the kidneys, the gut, the brain, wherever it is you want to detoxify. If you're adding that gel, doing the shaking the gel, waking up the molecules, adding the molecules to wherever you want to detoxify 3 times in 5 minutes, you're increasing the circulation by about 50%, which is just awesome. We also need to have really good levels of minerals in the body to detoxify. So again, keeping, say your Celtic sea salt, or getting a mineral formula so that you are keeping your body's minerals high. If you saw that interview with Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard recently, he talks about how all of the minerals and the heavy metals have a connection with something else. So if we have an imbalance on one side, we're going to have an imbalance on the other side. So I think the example that he gave was that if you get out of the pool and you can feel the chlorine, if you actually balance it with minerals, the chlorine smell disappears. It allows your body to move these things out of your system. Milk thistle is another, or St. Mary's thistle, from a herbal perspective, it helps the liver pathways function better. So St. Mary's thistle, milk thistle, that sort of herbal combination. Dandelion root is also really good for liver detoxification. Dandelion leaf is really good for kidney detoxification. Alpha lipoic acid, if you're the sort of person who's got numbness in the fingers and toes and even going into dementia, sometimes alpha lipoic acid can be beneficial because it can help with peripheral neuropathy, but it also is a precursor to glutathione in your body if you have good levels of glutathione. And the genetic dose of this increases the glutathione by up to 800%. So by increasing your lipoic acid, your cysteine, your redox signaling molecules, you'll be also allowing the body to release those heavy metals. N-acetylcysteine, like I say, sometimes our body is creating mucus to bind with toxins. So N-acetylcysteine is a really nice antioxidant. It's a really nice antioxidant that's a precursor to glutathione, so it really supports supports the removal of mercury, lead, gold, arsenic, and other heavy metals. You would have heard me talk about sulforaphane before. So sulforaphane, Brock shots, sulfuroclear, so supplements that increase your sulforaphane pathways in the body. That helps to switch on about 200 genes that are anti-inflammatory and pro-detoxing. So that can be a really good way to go, as can things like turmeric and curcuminoids. Once again, if you don't have oxalate issues, because these are high in oxalates, but that's another one, because it's reducing inflammation that allows detox pathways to work better and improves overall immune system health. So I hope that's handy. Oh, and I wanted to mention good old zinc. We need lots and lots of minerals, but zinc is really important for between 250 and 500 pathways in the liver. So if we're zinc deficient, lots of things go wrong. And especially when it comes to men and heavy metals, sperm fragmentation happens from 25 years old, and it's probably younger now with current shenanigans going on the planet. So we need to have our zinc levels nice and high, good quality zinc, of course. We need to have our zinc levels nice and high to maintain our eggs in women and our sperm in men, and to keep our fertility nice and active. So I hope that's helpful. Also, of course, I love the activated bees, but I could go on and on and on and on. There's lots of things we can do for heavy metal detoxification. But unfortunately, it needs to be done every day of our lives these days, because the onslaught of heavy metals into our bodies is a daily occurrence on the planet these days. So take care. Have a good one. Heavy metal detox. Let's get to it.